Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel and my craft studio. I'm Judith Patterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas, and today we're going to be making a card from the catalog. So if you've been watching my videos, you know that one of my favorite places to get inspiration is Stampin' Up's catalog. And I'm so excited because in January, we get a new mini catalog. So that means all kinds of new projects that we can be doing on this Friday live. But for today, I'm still doing a card from the July to December 2021 mini catalog. That's a mouthful. This will probably be... It might be my last card from this catalog unless I get a request for something specific. I'm not sure I'm going to do another card after this one. Maybe one more. We'll see. But today I'm using the Sweet Little Stockings stamps. I just can't get enough of these, and they are retiring at the end of this month or when they sell out. So if they sell out before the end of the month, then they're just going to be gone, and that's going to be sad. But good, because we don't want these sitting on the shelf somewhere not being used. So if you are wondering what products from the current mini catalog are going to be retiring, what's going to be coming back, what's going to be coming back in 2022's July to December catalog, I did do a walkthrough on my Facebook Live earlier this week, and I did upload that to YouTube, so you can, I'll put a link in the description if you want to watch that, and there's also a link to the retiring items. If it's not on the retiring list, then it's going to either carry over or it will come back in the next catalog. But you can watch the video and if you have time. I tried to make it pretty quick, and it'll go through all of that. So let me flip the catalog, not the catalog, let me flip the camera around and we'll start stamping. Okay, so again, this is the set we're using, but today, instead of using these adorable little critters, and the stockings, we're not using any of these. We are only using the gifts, both of the gift boxes, the candy cane, and Very Merry. And from the dies, I'm using the candy cane, this little bit of greenery here, the banner, and both of the gifts. So to stamp, I'm just using Memento ink, and I'm going to start by stamping one of each of the gifts. Now, if you're making this card along with me or later on, I guess you're not making it along with me because I forgot this isn't live. I'm just recording it. So that would be weird if you were making it with me. But if you are making this card, you're going to need 2 of each of these gift boxes. And you'll need 2 candy canes as well. I have already stamped and colored some so that you don't have to sit here and watch me doing that for too long. So I have pencils from the Watercolor Pencils Assortment 1 and Assortment 2. It says on the back what colors are in each one. So from Assortment 1, I'm using Old Olive, and that's all. And from Assortment 2, I'm using Coastal Cabana and Cherry Cobbler. Okay, so there's my little container with all my little bits and pieces so I don't use them. So I've already done both of these. This one, oh, I forgot to tell you which card we're working on. So on page 30, there is this card right here, and this is the card that I'm making. I thought this would be a good card because it's not using any of the stockings or the puppies or kitties, because that's what I usually use gravitate to when I'm working with this set. And also because this is actually a diagonal design on the 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So I kind of wanted to show you that and show you how on this box there's, do you see that? That pattern was drawn on. It keeps going fuzzy. There we go. So I'm going to grab my ruler. There we go. And my basic black Stampin' Up marker. And I'm just going to, I'm not even measuring, I'm just eyeballing it and making cross hatches. And of course you could measure it if you wanted to. Probably look a little better if it was measured out. I just don't really have the patience for that these days. Once upon a time, I would have measured everything precisely, but I've learned to loosen up just a little bit about such things. Just a little bit. But I totally get it if you don't want to do that and you would rather have it measured out. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Coastal Cabana watercolor pencil. It's not wanting to focus, but that's okay. And I'm going to color every one of these little almost squares. And I'm going to try to make sure I actually do every other one. Sometimes it gets a little weird whenever I start to go on the other side of the ribbon. Sometimes I get confused. So I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. I'm going to start back in this corner again. I think it's going to be easier to do that than to try to stay on track going the other way. And I think this is going to work out. So I'm not being real particular about my coloring. I am just trying to make sure I do every other one. And I'm going to go over all of this later with my blender pen. Okay, so there's that. And then this ribbon is just going to be cherry cobbler. Okay, so for this box, I'm going to use the Old Olive, and I'm going to color everything Old Olive. I'm doing the ribbon fairly dark, and then I'm going to go lighter over the box. And then I'm going to come back and put darker circles. There we go. And then I'm going to use my blender pen. So these come in a set of 3 and they last a really long time. I love using these. You can use them like I'm using them, where you go over the watercolor pencil, or you can squeeze your pad and then use the ink in the lid and use it like kind of like a paintbrush. You can pick up this ink and then color a little bit and pick up a little bit more. I like doing that a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this Coastal Cabana. Just try not to pick up any of that cherry cobbler in the ribbon while you're doing this. I'll hold it up to the camera, see if I can get the camera to focus on it so you can see just how it's blending it a little bit. But when it dries, to me it still looks, you can still see the paint strokes in it a little bit. So let's see. And there it goes. So you can see how that blended a little bit. So I'm going to get the blue off now. Then I'm going to do the red. And now is when I should hold it up, because now you'll really be able to see. So you can see how that red just blended together. And if you missed it, then you can always rewind the video and see what it looked like when I held it up before I blended that cherry cobbler ribbon. Okay, so it looks like I've got all my ink off. So now I'm going to go back over this, and I'm just going to go over it really lightly so I don't blend out my spots too much. I want to blend them a little bit, but I don't want to blend them totally out. I almost blended that one out. I think I'm going to add a little bit back. There we go. And then I'm going to go over the ribbon in the center. And again, I don't want to go over it too much because I still want this ribbon to be darker than the box. There we go. All my ink is out. And now it's ready to use next time. Okay, so on the other end of this, I'm going to take the Very Merry stamp and my Evening Evergreen ink pad. And I'm just going to stamp Very Merry right there in the center. I'm going to grab my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Oh, I had rolled it way far away from me. It's in one of those fun little carts from IKEA. You can get them everywhere now, though. You can get them at Michael's and IKEA. I don't know who all has them. I find them a lot, it seems like. Okay, so I'm going to use this one for that one, this one for that one, and then I'm going to cut this out. Okay, it's time to assemble the card since I've already cut the other pieces. So you're going to need a scrap of this piece of paper, and you can see it's diagonal. That's how the 12 by 12 paper is. You need a 4" by 5 1/4" inch piece of basic white. This will go inside your card. Your card base is just a standard 8 1/2 inches by 5 1/2 inches, and I scored it at 4 1/4. This is a piece of the Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper. And it's already, I used one of the dies from the Stockings dies. I use this one here to cut it. And then we have the 2 gifts that we colored, the 2 tall gifts that have been colored, 3 of these old olive greenery pieces that were die cut, and then 2 candy canes that were colored and then die cut. And I did use the blends on all of that coloring. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is glue down my little greenery bits. So I'm going to use my liquid glue. I keep my glue dots around that just so they're easily grabbable. I'm just putting that first one kind of down in the corner. And this next one, I'm going to put up and over a little bit. The third one, I'm going to put I want it to be up a little bit higher than that first one, but not too much, and over a little bit. So I'm gonna say right there, because I've already put it down. Might not have gotten it up high enough, but I'm hoping that that will work. Okay, next thing. Next thing's the candy canes. Really should be using, what did I just do? I really should be using my silicone mat to keep from getting glue everywhere. I am a mess. Okay, I'm going to do this tall box that I colored red. Then I'm going to do the green one, the green tall one next. Working myself from the back to the front on all of these. And so this one I'm going to put a little crooked, and I'm going to put it almost to the top here. And yeah, this one is not in exactly the right spot, but it'll be okay. So next I'm going to grab my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to put 2 on the back of the red small box, gift box. Oh, I almost forgot a step. The Very Merry. It needs to go next. And it is a liquid glue kind of thing again. I'm just going to put it right there. Okay, now this one. I'm going to put it... Actually, I'm going to put it a little lower. There we go. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put... So I'm holding it upside down on purpose because I want the right side to be the right side and the left side to be the left side. So there's my glue for the right. And then I'm going to put this dimensional on the left, and then when I flip it over, it's facing the right direction because this glue is going to go on top of this box here. I want this to come down, oops, just a smidge. There we go. And then I'm going to take these matte decorative dots, which is also retiring, which also made me a little sad. I really like these. But there are new ones in the upcoming catalog. The colors are different, the packaging size is different, but we will still have matte decorative dots, or matte dots. And we still have the black matte dots in the annual catalog, which is good because I really like those too. So I'm putting one down there. I'm going to get a smaller one and put it here. And I'm going to get an even smaller one, and I'm going to go for one of the lighter colors of green. And I'm going to put it here. Then I'm going to start back with this one up here. So this was the medium size. Then I'm going to get one of these darker, larger sizes and just kind of tuck it under that gift box. And then I'm going to get another smaller one that is again one of the lighter colors of green. I picked that up really weird. There we go. Okay, so now this part. This is a weird way of cutting this, but I'm not really sure. If you know a better way, I would love to know it. So we want the stripes to be straight. Okay, so I'm just holding it up like this. And actually I'm going to bring it all the way up here. So I'm going to cut this at this stripe right here. I'm just going to use my paper snips. I'm going to cut it right above this light colored stripe. And then, so I still want it to be straight. And I want it to be angled, but see how I have this weird little notch here? I don't know if you can see that. So that's a weird angle. So I don't want that. So my next thing I'm going to do is cut this off. So now I have a nice straight edge. I have a lot going on right here, don't I? Okay, so now I'm closer because now I have this straight and it's angled. But look how far it's having to stick out to get the whole angle, and it's too long. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut right through the middle of this, or towards the bottom actually, of this green line. And then I'm going to straighten my angle up some instead of having it so incredibly angled. I'm just going to straighten it up a little bit. Oh, that looks so much better. Okay, so now I want this, I'm going to attach this with dimensionals, and I don't want this attached with dimensionals. So what I'm going to do is, actually, I'm going to straighten that up just a little bit better. Yeah, I like that. Just got to watch this little bit here because I don't want the gap sticking out. All right, so what I'm going to do is grab a Stampin' Dimensional, and I'm going to put it right there. Then I'm going to place this on top of it where I want it. So like I said, I don't want that to stick out farther than the edge there. And I want my stripes to be straight. I think they're straight. What do you think? I think it's pretty straight. Okay, so now I'm going to put liquid glue on the back of this small little weird piece. And I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this big piece. I'm going to go ahead and take the top off of that one, and I'm going to tuck it under just a little bit, just so that has a, it really doesn't. So the last card I made of this, I got it tucked in just a little bit better. That one didn't really do much, but it'll keep the center of this piece from sagging, so that's something. Okay. And if you have a bigger scrap, then you can make this part stick out farther. I just didn't have a very big scrap, and I didn't want to waste any of this. I don't have a lot of this paper left, any of this designer series paper left. So I'm being really careful with what I do have left. Okay, so the next thing is a greeting for the inside of the card. So I'm gonna do Christmas greetings. And I'm gonna use the Evening Evergreen again. Just gonna put this in the center. And then I really liked this red box, the tall one with the blue bow. So I'm going to stamp that in the bottom corner here. And now I'm going to color it in with the Coastal Cabana. And I'm just going to make it kind of match that ribbon on the front. Grab my blender pen. Let's start with this blue. I'm going to grab that scrap piece of paper and just make sure that my blue is off of it. Then I'm going to go back over the red, the cherry cobbler. There we go. Get my ink off, and then that is ready to be glued inside the card, and the card will be finished. Always make sure you put your lid on your blender pen because they will dry out. There we go. It's the inside of the card. I feel like there should be a puppy on this somewhere, but I'm not going to do it. And there's the front. So again, this is one of the stamp sets. Actually, it's the whole suite. There we go. The whole suite is retiring at the end of the month or when supplies run out. So if this starts selling out, then it'll be gone and you won't be able to buy it anymore. So that'll be sad. If you want to shop, I will leave a link in the description below so that you can shop my store. That would make me happy and it would make you happy. But everything, before I sign off, I wanted to make sure you know the Pool Party Striped Grosgrain ribbon that's part of this suite with the sweet little stockings, that is on sale 10% off while supplies last. So it's $6.30 in the US. And the Jolly Felt, that is also part of this suite, is 15% off. So it is $7.65 while supplies last in the US. Those are US prices. I'm going to try to keep an eye on things and let you know if I see that something is going like in low inventory, because things can sell out really fast. So I might not catch it, but I'm going to try and keep you updated on my Facebook page. So you might want to give me a like and a subscribe on this YouTube channel if you enjoyed this video, but also go over to my Facebook page and look at that and follow me there so that you can get those updates on how inventory is looking in the US. So like I said, I'm going to try to keep an eye on that daily, but I'm not making any promises because things do happen very quickly. And that is all I have for you today. Again, I'm leaving all kinds of links down below in the description. So if you want to shop, if you want to go to my Facebook page, if you want to watch the live that I recorded earlier this week so that you can see the walkthrough of the catalog and know what's staying and what's going and what's on sale, then you are welcome to do that. And I'll have a link to my blog also where I'll have the measurements for this card so that you can see them written down in print and it'll be easier. All right. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and let me know if you have any questions or if there's a card from the catalog you would like to see created on one of these Facebook or YouTube videos. Happy stamping!